going down. I'm yelling timber.
I'm Samuel Brown.
And I'm Lydia Knuckles, bringing you a special news report.
Hello, I'm Sammy Laham,
And I'm Lydia Knuckles.
and we're reporting over last week's stock market crash from October 29th, 1929.
The stock market crash started when Wall Street investors invested about 16 million shares in the New York Stock Exchange in a single day. Thousands of investors lost billions of dollars.
The enthusiasm and growing economy since the end of World War I prompted many to take their money out of banks and to invest it in the stock market. But it turns out that that wasn't a very wise decision.
Many made the risky decision to invest in the stock market after hearing stories of everyday people becoming very rich very quickly.
The devastating loss could have been avoided if the mini stock market crash from March 25th, 1929 would have been paid attention to by investors. The mini crash scared the investors, but they were reassured by numerous banks, which stopped the panic.
There were few signs that the economy was heading for a setback, such as steel production going down, house construction slowing, and car sales decreasing.
During the summer months, the economy was at an all-time high.
On September 3, 1929, the stock market reached its peak with the Dow Jones Industrial Average closing at 381.17 points. Suddenly, stock prices plummeted last Thursday, October 24, 1929.
Vast numbers of people sold their stocks, but they were relieved by a group of bankers who pooled their money to invest a large amount.
This convinced others to stop selling and continue buying, but only a mere 4 days later, the stock market fell again.
Over the 4 days that the stock market crashed, the Dow dropped 25%, losing $30 billion in market value. If I had to guess, I would say that $30 billion now would be the equivalent of $396 billion in the year 2014.
To put into perspective how much the Dow lost, remember that $30 billion is more than the U.S. spent on World War I. Now we are going to show a portion of an interview that we held with an owner of a thriving bakery in New York City who lost everything. Over to you, Lydia. Thanks, Lydia. I'm here with a bakery owner who lost everything because of the stock market crash. So tell me, Mrs. Smith, why did you invest?
Well, in the 1920s, it seemed like the stock market prices had nowhere to go but up. And with a new bakery and a big family, we thought it'd be great to make some quick cash. So we borrowed some money from the bank and we invested it in the stock market.
What effects did the stock market crash have on you and your family?
Well, since we borrowed from the bank, we lost all that money and the stock market, and we had to pay them back somehow. We had to take that money from our bakery, so now our bakery is failing and we have no money to pay my little girl Kelly's doctor bills, so now we don't know what to do.
That's sad. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Make sure to tune in again on another update about the stock market crash.
Hello, I am Mira Sedlak.
And I'm Cassidy O'Malley, and we bring you important news.
Hello, we come to you today, October 29, 1930, a year after the great stock market crash.
No words can explain how much the stock market crash has affected the American people.
Although there was considerable recovery in the weeks following the great crash, we have not seen the stock market highs as in the 1920s.
Many of the banks have begun to fail as people try to save their money.
Also, the use of checks has not become a stable way to pay others because there is no way knowing that those checks are reliable.
We have also seen the government interacting greatly in people's lives.
However, the lives of the American people have not improved greatly as they struggle to make ends meet.
Whoa! Thank you. Yes, very true. We've seen people boarding others, sending their kids away to other family members, and we've also seen kids going off to work.
Hopefully, America is going to improve soon, but there are no promises and almost a lack of hope.
The primary effect of the stock market crash was that it caused millions of workers to lose their jobs. Unemployment after the crash rose from 3% in 1929 to 25% by 1933.
Because of the crash and the Great Depression, more than 9,000 banks closed during the 1930s, causing millions of people to lose their life savings.
From 1929 to 1933, the U.S. gross national product, which is a measurement of how many goods and services are produced in a year, dropped by 33%.
When the stock market fell, there were no federal welfare or social programs in place. Out of the Great Depression and FDR's New Deal, these programs were created: the Civilian Conservation Corps, Federal Housing Administration, Public Works Administration, and Social Security Act.
One of the effects of the stock market crash is that the tax rate changed significantly for the wealthiest Americans.
The FDIC was created to ensure that people's money would be safe and protected against bank failures.
Changes were made to the stock market to prevent rampant speculation and further crashes, the most notable of which was that people could no longer buy stocks on the margin.
By 1932, stocks were only worth about 20% of their value from its original value.
The relationships that happened before and after the stock market crash were weakened because people did not trust their country. Foreign countries lost trust in America and withdrew their investments, causing interest rates to rise, which made it harder for the United States to borrow money to finance its recovery. People had thought America was a land of opportunities, but now they believed that America was a failure. Many people were jobless and homeless after the stock market crashed. They had lost everything they had. The unemployment rate skyrocketed from a low number to an outrageously high number. People thought that investing in the stock market was a safe thing to do and that they'd always make some kind of money out of it. However, this belief was drastically changed when the stock market crashed. People were not willing to invest because they had no idea if they would make or lose money. Many people also did not trust their banks because they had thought their banks lied to them and led them on. Banks closed, and many people lost a lot of money they had put into the bank. The bank gave no warning and did not update the people of what was going on. Both the banks and the investors were immoral because they did not tell the American people the truth.